Today I want to share some information that someone shared to me not too long ago that was very informative for me. It really resonated a lot to me. And I have shared it to quite a few people, and they have all felt, not all, but most people have felt like a aha moment with it. And I am going to attempt to share it for you. This has not been easy for me to describe it, even though it's not that complicated, but I'm going to do the very best I can. Okay, so a friend explained this to me, and this is not something that they just thought of themselves. I mean, they did, but they also talked to other people to see if it was just them, and it turned out that a lot of people have come to the same conclusion. And again, when it was shared to me, it was just like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So basically, he explains how we are all whole. We are whole the way we are. But what happens is we come into this world, in our childhood, something happens, usually through a trauma or through some kind of, abandonment or something that where there's some kind of emotion, a fear, where the child no longer is whole and separates into a separation. In the separation, they no longer feel the wholeness anymore. And then as they grow up as adults, their whole life is all about a separation. That's all they know is a separation. And in this separation, you are out there trying to make money to become something, or trying to find this, perfect relationship, or all the things that we do out there in this, search to find this wholeness. But instead, we're out there trying to find these desires. And now again, there's nothing wrong with working, and there's nothing wrong with, relationships or things like that. The difference is I'm just explaining about how we search outside of us to find our needs in hopes of having the wholeness of who we are. So then he says, basically, when we understand this, we have to go back into the childhood again to find out what happened with this separation. Not what happened, but go back into the memories of what happened to heal it, so that we can be whole again. And I thought that was so profound, because that's exactly what happened to me on my journey years ago. I didn't know how to describe it, but that's exactly what happened. I was out there searching, looking for this kind of relationship, wanting to be successful, wanting to become something for myself, had to be important. It's kind of funny because I was so wanting to be important, and now it's just like, I don't really care about that kind of stuff anymore. Which it shows that I've changed so much. But so I did all these things, to become something. But once I found the cause, the beginning of that separation, to me, I talk about it in my book. I don't talk in the description that I'm explaining right now, because I didn't know how to describe it, but that's what had happened. For me, I was actually at my, it happened when my mom was pregnant. She was 2 months pregnant, and when she found out that she was pregnant, she was devastated, because she felt like once she was pregnant, she was trapped and she couldn't be free from get out of a relationship. So I was the entrapper. But for me, it was, I felt, unwanted. I was an unwanted child at that time, but I didn't know it. It was so unconscious, I didn't know it. So as going through this journey through hypnosis and exploring all these metaphysical things, trying to find, ways to find peace within myself, that came up, and it was so profound, my experience, when I found what had happened. And by the way, I did, in my book explains, and I'm going to explain the same thing, I did talk to my mom to confront it, to ask if it was true, and it was. Everything that my whole experience that came to me, it was just like this, I was in the moment of experiencing it all. And I confronted it, and she said, yeah, it's true. I love you, but at the time, that's how I felt. And so that it was true. So So when I realized that, it was so relieving. It freed me in so many ways, that I no longer had to feel this bondage, the separation. I was so separated in my whole life, searching for things, and once I understood this, I could become whole again. Now, in my personal experience, my journey, when I found this, this point of when it happened, of that separation, when I had the opportunity to become whole again, but it wasn't like immediately. It was just now I was able to heal, to become one again. But it's a journey with it. It's just a new, different journey with it. So how to share it to someone else, me telling you the story, sharing it to you, wherever you are. When I talked to the gentleman, when he explained this, he basically said that, well, I asked him, I says, is it everybody that separates? Because yes, it made sense. That happened to me, but was it happened to everybody? He said, yeah, in my experience, everybody. It happens to everybody. We come in this world of this wholeness. Just to let you know, it's there. We are whole. We are meant to be whole. But there is a trauma. It happens to separate, so that this whole journey is to learn how to become whole and one again. And I thought that's really, really interesting. That's what our journey is all about, getting to know who we really are, how to become whole, to become one again. And so how do you do it? You want to know how you do it? It's really up to you. But it's definitely inner work. It's definitely going into the unconscious. Again, I talked to my old videos that a lot of people are so anti-unconscious. You're like, oh, I don't want to be unconscious. I have to be conscious. But to be whole, we have to be unconscious. We have to be conscious and above consciousness. We have to be open to all of this, because that is the different parts of the wholeness of everything. So don't be afraid of the unconscious. So yes, you have to go to the unconscious, go back into the memory of where this separation came from. And I would say the best thing to do, I can't say for everybody, I'm only giving what I would, guess, is go for the deepest painful emotion of what you go through. We all have different emotions, but the thing that keeps coming again and again and again and doesn't change, that's the one to follow. Go into the emotion and go into where it all came from. Again, you could do it through meditation, hypnosis, anything to go into the unconscious mind. I hope this information is helpful. And again, this information to me is so important for people to know. Anybody who's on this inner journey, this is one of the most important things to share in my understanding. So I thought of sharing it, and I hope it helps. And I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful day.